Good morning, letter fans, and happy holidays. Welcome to a very special Christmas-themed mock roundup. Today's mock is actually themed off of a real event, one of my favorite Christmas stories of all time, that happened in 1914 during the Great War. Both sides, the Germans and the British, were tired of fighting, at least in the terms of the holiday spirit. They decided to put down their arms and exchange gifts, and the true meaning of Christmas spread throughout the ranks. And, well, for a time, there was a very sporadic peace agreement, which in some places lasted until New Year's Eve. But yeah, before I really get into all the little history and all the little nuances of the whole thing, I just wanted to say that my whole goal in all this was to make a really small mock, something that would be nice to show off on my shelf. And now it's kind of like to the point in which I might as well show it off at a brick convention or something later on, if they ever have those again. But yeah, so basically this is something that I wanted to do, something that was military themed, but not in a war sense. Which is quite a challenge. I've seen very many brick-built things where they show various factions fighting against each other, Clone Wars and World War II, and I've seen all kinds of things online about various battles, but I've yet to see one about the more wholesome story of all. Just this miracle of Christmas on the battlefield. So, without further ado, let's just get right on into the story. Early on in the war, before the advent of poison gas, both sides would often invoke a small peace treaty just to go out into the no man's land and gather up the dead for a proper burial, and December 24th was no different. In fact, a lot of the momentary peace agreements sprung up and expanded into a larger fraternization, and camaraderie between both sides expanded from there. Fraternization between the British and the Germans began with simple hymns and caroling behind their own lines, and later expanded up into no man's land once the threat of sniper fire was no more. Sporadically, much like the truce itself, football games sprung up between both sides, and reportedly, the Germans won, 3-2. Legend goes that one British soldier kicked a football out of the trenches, but I like to wonder where the football came from in the first place. Interestingly, the tradition of the Christmas Tannenbaum was really only prevalent in Germany at the time of the Great War, and as such, British soldiers were really unaware of these traditions, and when they started seeing these trees pop up on the German side, they were curious. They were enthralled by the sight, and probably, after the Great War, brought this tradition back with them and spread this to other English-speaking countries. There's kind of a myth in the Christmas Truce story, in which case officers were the ones who looked down upon their soldiers for participating. However, in some cases, officers directly participated and ensured that peaceful fraternization would continue among the troops. So, what did the soldiers do during their ceasefire? Why, they exchanged gifts, of course. Being the Christmas season, a lot of them exchanged their variety of rations, like biscuits and cakes. On the German side, they had a lot of chocolates, dressing cake, and sausages. The British had jam and whiskey. And, of course, they exchanged material items such as handkerchiefs, scarves, hats. There was trading of buttons and a variety of other military memorabilia that got transported off to the other side and, became almost like trophies in a way. During the sudden ceasefire, a variety of wildlife which had returned back to the countryside had suddenly become noticed by the two unwarring sides. Of note are two hares which had, after feasting upon abandoned Belgian crops for months on end, had grown fat and, as such, easy prey for both sides. And as part of the Christmas Truce, both sides got a hare each. That's a good meal right there. There was also a letter exchange too. German soldiers who had been in Britain before the war desperately wanted to be in contact with their former partners, and while British soldiers said that they would deliver the letters, there was no real guarantee that they would get any response back. The German soldiers understood. And there we go, folks. That's my mock in a nutshell. If you'd like to read more about the Christmas Truce, I left a few links in the description. And if you'd like to see more of my mocks and reviews and whatnot, my silliness, please leave me a like and subscribe. And yeah, also have a Merry Christmas. Do whatever you do in these times of need, and make the most of things, But yeah, hope you all have a safe and Merry Christmas and a happy New Year. I'm sure I'll see you all before that, but still, have a good one. Stay safe out there, and see you next time. Bye.